Hi guys, I'm Kung Fu Matt, and we're here to play Darkest Dungeon. Played this game some. It's extremely fun. It's like a turn-based RPG. It's like kind of a side-scrolling RPG. You always go left to right. You do turn-based fights. The thing about it is, the thing that makes this game fun is when your people die, they're dead forever. You also have to manage their stress. At some point, they'll get so stressed out that they start to harm your other people and just make it harder to play. So the cool thing is you kind of replace your heroes. Your heroes they're expendable. So the whole game is going to be based off of knowing when it's not worth having a character anymore, getting rid of him, replacing him with someone else, and slowly building up and improving your camp and improving everything. So let's get right into it.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient, pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path, you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
Okay, so this is what the game kind of looks like. The whole game you're going to be playing is going to kind of look like this, left to right. You got your characters out front, and in the back, you've got your background, whatever's going on in the back. So, just a quick look at what's going on. We've got two characters right now. We have Reynold, Crusader, and we've got Dismas, a highwayman. Highwayman, nice. He's looking at, these are their abilities. There's no action cost. It's going to be turn-based, so when it's their turn, you can use any ability you want, and then once you use your ability, it'll go on to the person's next turn. So basically, you just have to decide which ability is best for the situation you're in. So we're going to get started. You move left to right in this game. Yeah, so let's go. Oh yeah, okay. So there's also a map, so the map will decide kind of where you go. So the left to right is the current room you're in, and the map will decide when you go to a next room. So we're gonna
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead.
So we're gonna move along this hallway. He just got hit by stress. Everyone's got stress levels. As they're in dungeons longer, people get stressed out. That's how it is. That's the white bar down here. When they hit 100, a lot of times they'll get a perk, but a bad one, and then they'll also start to just kind of be belligerent. Maybe they won't take heals. Maybe they'll start to yell at your other people.
Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion.
They'll do a lot of stuff to hurt hurt the stress of your companions. Okay, so whenever you come up on an enemy, you have a chance to surprise them. Surprising them is stun for the first round. If you get surprised for one reason or another, it might shuffle your guys around, which could be really detrimental. So let's start with, we'll open his veins. Okay, and we got the bleed applied, and I think we'll just finish him off here. It should be easy. There
As
you go.
the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Okay, we're gonna take all the victory. Another super important thing would be the torch at the top. This is a light bar. Basically, it gets smaller from both sides. Like as you move forward, as bad things happen to you, it'll slowly move down. What this does is, the higher your light is, the more plus to scouting, and you have a better chance of monsters to be surprised. Scouting will open up, it'll give you an idea of what rooms are ahead of you from, maybe different directions or what might be in those rooms. When it gets lower, it actually ups your stress levels that you gain, but it also makes it so you have a better chance to crit. So you could go through this game without light, but I wouldn't recommend it. To be honest, the easiest way to make your game seem easier, I guess, is just keep the light as high as possible. Also, loot goes up the lower your light is. So keep moving on over here. Okay, so there's objects on the way. You can kind of click on them if you want to go at it. This is just a random tent, so we'll check it out. And there's some gems in there.
Leave nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places.
Yeah, that's an extreme lie in this game. Leave stuff unchecked. It's more dangerous if you open everything.
An ambush. Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
Gotta dodge there. Okay, so I'm gonna try to stun this guy. There we go. That wasn't the stun. That was the wrong move. I'm gonna try to make him bleed. He's got a lot of health. Usually the bigger enemies tend to have more health. I guess it makes sense. He's already at half-life. Some moves will have pulls and pushes, so that pushed me to the back behind him. Doesn't matter right now, but look, he lost his ability to do, you know, 2 of his moves, so that can be pretty annoying. Doesn't really matter too much. So I can still hit him with something. We'll just refresh that bleed on him. I resisted whatever that was. I assume it's a bleed.
A victory.
Okay, so he gained. He lost some stress off that kill. Sometimes the kills you can lose stress, so that's always good.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Okay, so we got an item for grave robbers, which we don't even have a grave robber yet. Some deeds, a torch, and some gold. The torches are only usable in this one mission. So you go into a dungeon, whatever torch you have, you use them all up by the end of it, and you won't have them when you're done. Also, when the quest completed comes up, that means you can get out of the dungeon at any time. If you choose to keep exploring, you can. This dungeon is obviously extremely small, but I'm going to open this chest before then. And it's trapped. So I resisted blight, which is basically poison. And so that's fine. So we're going to go back to town. When you go back to town, all of your life goes back to full. Like, all of it, straight up, all your life's back. But the stress stays exactly where it is. You guys don't get, you know, all the stress go away just because they get home. Got some decent rewards. Got experience. Experience is gained from finishing dungeons. If you don't finish, if you leave early, if you run away, you don't get experience for it. We're gonna find out what happened. Yeah, they both got good perks. Perks are either good or bad. There's both. That, you know, either in certain dungeons they'll be stronger. They can scout. There's a lot of different things. So, looks like I got 10% scouting chance in the Warrens and 15% disease resist, which is just all good, like good all around.
Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
Okay, so the 2 things we have unlocked right now. A lot of stuff isn't unlocked yet. You got to play a couple missions before, so we'll just, as we unlock stuff, we'll check it out. The first thing you always want to check out is the stagecoach. The stagecoach.
Men, soldiers, and outlaws, fools, and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
Okay, so stagecoach is going to be your lifeblood of, you know, heroes. I don't know if they're really heroes. They're sort of just mercenaries, I guess. So it's going to be your lifeblood of mercenaries. What you want to do is kind of grab the ones that you're going to be using, and they'll, you know, we're going to upgrade the stagecoach so there's more. You know, at some point you can have a whole bunch every day, every week. Weeks go by finishing a dungeon. We might have a bunch every week. You'll pick the ones you want, you know, maybe get rid of some that, you know, aren't working out so well. So that's kind of how it'll work. So we'll grab both of these because the first dungeon you want all 4. Doesn't matter who they give you. I believe they give you the same 2 every time anyways.
What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield?
Okay, so we got a plague doctor and a Vestal. The Vestals are the healers. Plague doctors have some, like, can get rid of diseases. They have a very small heal, but they're mostly for, they've got ranged poison attacks. So, Also, with we start off with some busts, some fortresses, deeds, and crests. These are items. Basically, these are the reasons why you go into dungeons. These are what upgrades your stagecoach and your sanitarium and all the different buildings. Stagecoach is a huge one, so I'm going to immediately upgrade.
Great heroes can be found even here.
I'm going to upgrade the network.
And rain.
That will increase the your roster size, so that put me up, let me have more. And then I'm actually going to, or no, this increased the amount that show up, sorry. So now they'll show 3 instead of 2. And then either I'm going to be able to get my roster up to 11, or I can jump up and show 4 heroes. I think I'm going to go straight to 4, because I'm not going to be able to get to, 9 anyways in 1 week. So now, this next week there'll be 4 heroes, we can have 8, and then hopefully by then we can upgrade the hero barracks after that. Stagecoach is huge. It's huge. It's huge. Gotta upgrade it a lot.
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
This is the graveyard. If you have a character die, just so you can remember who has died and whatever, what level they were and whatnot, it'll be in here. So. We're gonna jump right into another mission with all 4 of our people.
Of madness and morbidity. Your work begins.
Okay, so you want to arrange them left to right, how they're going to be walking. Obviously, the melee guys in the front, ranged in the back. Healers don't actually need a target for the enemy team most of the time, so you can allow them to be all the way in the back. That's what we're going to do. Also, any rewards you get are going to be on the left. If you're looking for something specific, you can pick different missions later when we unlock more. There'll be a bunch of different ones. We're actually going to get a rare reward if we finish this. A pretty cool cape. It gives basically you can hold 2 of these items on any character. When they die, I'm not really sure what happens. I haven't had a character die while holding one yet. We'll have to figure that out at some point. But it gives protection and dodge when your light is below 25, but when your light's above 75, it minus your dodge. So if you're gonna want to go for one of those, low light, playthroughs, or maybe you're gonna go through a dungeon with low light to try to get more loot, this would be the kind of cape to wear. But we'll get right into it.
The cost of preparedness, measured now in gold, later in blood.
What this is these are the items that you're going to have with this exact dungeon you're going through. Not the next dungeon after that, whatever. Just this one dungeon. So remember, if you spend a whole bunch of gold here, it's all going to disappear because it's all gone and you don't get to keep these items. So the first thing I do is I always buy, 6, 7 torches. Maybe not 7, but I do buy some torches. So we're gonna buy 8 just to make sure we're good right off the bat. I always buy a single shovel. What'll happen with the shovel is you'll come up to a little event that you have to, dig yourself out of it. And if you don't do it right, or if you don't have a shovel to dig through it, it's going to give you a ton of stress and damage all your guys. I always try to carry 1 shovel if you can afford it. And food, I try to carry you carry at least 4 food into a short dungeon. This is going to be a short dungeon. It said in the last screen. So we're going to carry at least 4. Now, if you want to be safe, you can carry 8. The way food works is it heals 1 per use, but also randomly during the dungeon it'll be like, you need to eat, and if you don't have food, you're going to get a ton of stress, and you're going to get some damage on everybody. So, or I think it's just stress. So, I try to carry 8 food on the short dungeons, just in case you get that little event twice, and it's too much stress. We can afford it now. We got 48.75 gold, so we're going to do that, and the rest of this stuff, keys will help you unlock chests, herbs will get rid of diseases, bandages will get rid of bleeds, so that you can kind of use those if you want, but I tend to just kind of skip them for now, especially early in the game when your money is extremely important.
The fiends must be driven back, and what better place to begin than the seat of our noble line.
We got a pretty straightforward dungeon. It's just going to go straight one direction. At one point we'll have to choose, but we've got a little while before that. So right away we'll choose this way and start walking through.
Curious is the trap maker's art.
You're going to find traps
unwitnessed by his own eyes.
You're going to find traps at random throughout the way. If you pay attention and your characters, I guess, have a chance to see them, then you can click on it and they have a chance to unlock it. or you know, fix it. But they might get hurt by it while they're fixing it. That one, nobody saw it, so there's nothing you could do. Always grab if you see torches like this. Always grab them. You're gonna want them. Now we're already down one. I'm gonna actually use one before we go into the next room to fill it back
The
up.
way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Okay, so we got a bunch of spider bugs. We're gonna use his AoE move to hit all of them at once, or all but one. And all she has that she can use is a heal. So it's gonna start off by healing the guy who's hurt the most. Her other moves are, you know, a melee. We'll look in a second here. Usually it's good to look immediately to find out, you know, if they're worth, you know, getting the character or not. But at first you just take your 4 characters and, you know, whatever they are, they are. Okay, so he's got Plague Grenade, a hits 2, gas that hits 2. He's got a medicine, it heals, Battlefield Medicine heals 1, which doesn't sound that good, but at some point it is actually not so bad. And it cures bleeds, and it cures the bleed and blight from a teammate and himself. So I'm going to use it now because I've got somebody who's bleeding. Oh, wait, maybe he's not bleeding. No, he's marked. That's something different. Never mind. We're going to, I think we'll Plague Grenade the back here. Oh, and they dodged both, so didn't really matter. We're just gonna slash up this one, just finish him off.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Get spit on. Oh man, they're all taking this guy out. Come on, man, survive. Okay, so the other thing you can look at is the enemies. They have their health right there. You can look. You know exactly how much health they have. That helps you because you've got your moves to say it does. None of these moves give in a damage amount, but some of the moves will give you, you know, how much damage they do. Then you know exactly, you know, what'll, you know, like 3 points for 3 rounds. So if someone's at 3 life, this, yeah, like this guy, as soon as it's his turn, it'll kill him. So we can't Plague Grenade the front, otherwise we definitely would. Shuffling is not going to do anything. We're just going to blight the back one. Okay, she's going to heal him. He's just getting too low. Now the reason I attacked the back one is because this one's at really low life, and I'm hoping that I can AoE both of them down at the same time. At some point, or hit both, you know. I'm actually gonna heal the blight off of my healer because this guy can't do any damage anyways, so. Failed the cure. Sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, we're gonna hit both. Oh man, we're not gonna hit either one. Alright, let's finish this guy so we know we just 4 versus 1 should make it go. Alright, finish them off.
This expedition at least promises success.
Okay, so we get back to the map. It's going to want us to move to the next room. Also, if you're picking up anything like unlocking chests or any of that, you want to make sure you're clicked on the character you want to use it. So if I click on this guy and then click on a chest, it turns out it's a trap. He might get hurt, and since he's so low, that's kind of scary. So, like this pack right here, I'm going to open it with my guy with the full health at the front. Turns out there's just a bunch of loot.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Okay, so things like these books. Now this is where it gets really interesting. These books, they could have a perk in them. It could be good or bad. They could just give you stress. They could do nothing. In general, some of these random things like the cauldrons and the books and the bookshelves, a lot of times they're worse than, you know, you're actually better off just leaving them alone. I'm going to open this one just so you get an idea of what's going on, but a lot of times it's just safe to pass on without them. Okay, so it's going to give him a perk of some sort. We're going to see what it is right here. he got Precision Striker, so he got 3% to crit. So it was actually fantastic. But it could have given something, like he's got 2 bad perks. Everybody's got perks, good and bad, to start off with. He's got that's the one he gained from the first one. But he's a Klepto, so you might unlock some loot in a chest or something, and he'll be like, I'm taking some of this, and he'll just take some. That can get kind of annoying. Also, there's multiple ways in town to get rid of their stress. He will only have, praying will be the only thing he'll do. So, we've got known cheat. He can't gamble while in town. That doesn't really do too much. That just means one of the different ways you can get stress off he can't do. That's fine. Lygophobia, stress resist when your light's low. That's not too bad either, because we're going to tend to keep our light really high. So hopefully that won't be a problem. And Necromania, fascinated with corpses. I guess if I walk across a dead corpse or something, she might want to stop, even if I don't want to open it. So this is what I was talking about, the traps. We can disarm this trap right here, or we can just get hit by it. I'm not sure what decides whether you unlock a trap or not. We gotta use a torch here. Keep an eye on your torch levels at all times. When it gets low, make sure you pop it back up. We've got more than enough here. I probably didn't need as many, but better safe than sorry. The scouting, I didn't even say anything about that. The scouting, each little square can have an action or an event or something. So we've got 2 items to open, followed by a battle, followed by one we don't know, followed by like a treasure room. So that's kind of cool. I'm gonna open this up. Get some treasure. It's gonna be another one of those. Do you open it? Do you not? I'm gonna open it with this guy because actually we'll open with the Plague Doctor. They're probably my least favorite. I just kind of want to see what's in there. He got Ruins Explorer. He got a 20% scouting chance. So I've gotten very lucky. Like a lot of times, I don't know if it's a 50-50 chance or what, but you're looking at most of the time it's gonna, or a lot of times it gives you something bad. So be very careful with that. Okay, so you can use a torch at any point in battle. We're already looking at, we're down 1, so I'm gonna use one.
The light, the promise of safety.
Basically, with these guys. Now, there's a lot of different enemies in this game. It's really hard to learn them all or whatever, but the Bone Couriers are going to be one to watch out for immediately. The Tempting Goblet is just gives a ton of stress. It'll give like 10. And you look, you can only have 100. Stress is a huge thing you have to monitor in this game. So if I have a way to hurt this guy, I'm going to target him early. If I had a way to shuffle him, that might have been another good idea. Shuffle him, maybe he goes to the front. No, just can't hit anybody. It's not good. Okay, so he can't hit the back, so we're just gonna take the skeletons out one by one. Okay, so he's gonna bleed, and he's gonna have poison. Oh, he resisted the bleed. That's too bad. And we got him from the poison. Yes.
Perhaps the turning point.
Crits are another thing. If the enemy crits you, all your people are going to get a bunch of stress. If you crit the enemy, it's going to bring down your stress. That's another reason why you can do the low light dungeons. Is it ups your crit, so it actually helps you keep your your stress at bay sometimes, but in general, it's still extremely dangerous to do. Okay.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Should be a chest in here, and there's some enemies. So good dodge, good dodge. Oh man, I've used that move like 5 times, haven't hit once. It's not good. Oh, you're looking at 15 stress. That's a huge amount of stress. That's a massive amount of stress. So I know he's got a disorient, so we're gonna try to shuffle him back to the front, maybe where I can hit him. There you go. Hopefully we can take this guy out before he does any more. So, and these guys got it too. So it's the sorcerers, the guys with the spells, the ones you want to make sure you watch the most. Okay, we got him right away. They're usually pretty weak too. They just hide in the back. And there's a crit, so you're gonna have everyone else gain stress, or multiple people getting stress around him. Keep those heals going. Okay, hit 2 of them. Okay, so that's gonna be a pull. So if it doesn't resist, it's gonna pull her to the front. So doesn't matter for this guy. He can still grenade, you know, the far end, so it's gonna be okay. It could have been worse. It actually ended up not being too bad. Everyone's still gonna be able to attack. If I had to, I could spend his turn swapping. They have different amounts of move. He can move 1 forward, or no, he can move 2 forward or back 2. So he would just move and push everybody back. So if he moved to the front, it would push these 2 back behind him. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to lead this guy. Oh. Oh, we're gonna get a bunch of stress. See, I'm already at 70, so we gotta get, I mean, it's gonna be really annoying. She's close enough now where she can actually do melee, so we're gonna go ahead and do that just to finish him off.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Heirlooms, that's perfect. That's exactly what we need. Okay, well, by the way, I didn't look, but our mission was to complete 100% of the room battles. Room battles are these big rooms at the end, not the walkways, the hallways, just the rooms. So we're gonna try to finish. It's in one of these 2 rooms. I'm not sure up or down, so we'll have to just take a guess. I think we really have to watch. Oh, he's gonna make me open it. Sometimes they'll just make
Finding
you.
the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
The klepto in him, he took all that stuff for himself, so... I just realized my torch is really low, and of course I got surprised in the process. This is already going horrible for me. So we're gonna first get our torch back up before we do anything.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted.
It actually didn't switch us all that bad because I forgot to switch back from before. Every time you get out of a battle, switch all your guys back around the way you need them to. I forgot to do that, so it actually turned out fine. Because it kind of switched us back to how we wanted to be, so... Okay, most dodge there, that's good. Ouch. Okay, so that's perfect. He put him right back where we wanted him. It ended up working out great. Try to keep him alive best we can here. We're just gonna do our big slice on the guy in the front, and we got a crit. Fantastic. Lowered some stress. It's good. They're already poisoned. We're gonna try to stun. We'll stun the guy who hits. Oh, he can stun too. That's good. Oh, yeah, stun both in the back. That's good.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Okay, so the stuns work when it hits their turn. They'll gain a buff afterwards that reduces their chance to be stunned. So every time you stun someone, they gain stun resist, which just means you can't constantly stun over and over again. Man, they're fast. They get to attack way before our guys. Could have easily finished him otherwise. I'm gonna get that bleed off. And no, I won't.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Okay.
Wealth beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the
Oh, surprised me
foolhardy
again,
alike.
even at full light. That's pretty rare, but switch the back two is not going to do too much. Oh. Look at all that stress. This is getting bad. Some moves give torch, by the way. I forgot to explain that. It'll just add torch if you run out of torches, or if you just, you know, just like if I were going to attack here, it would just let me hit everybody for a small percent of damage. It'll torch and it'll make it so they can't dodge as much. So we're actually gonna try it out, just see how it goes. Oh, I can hit anyone. Sorry, not everyone. So plague grenade is what we're looking at here. actually happy he chose that target, not somebody who was really low. Finish that guy off. Got one. Should be pretty easy to finish these guys off now. Obviously attack the ones that aren't stunned first. They're not going to be attacking back.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Okay, so that was the last room that we needed to fight in. We're going to open up this. Ruins Tactician. When he's in the ruins, 15% damage. Okay, so that's fantastic as well. Another situation where you don't always want to open that, but you know, worked out well for me. Might as well live dangerously. Now, if I want to, I can continue to explore this dungeon. What that's going to do for me, it's going to let me get more loot without you know, having to go through another entire dungeon. The downside to that is my guys are all real low, and if I'm not, and the stress is, you know, not too bad for some of my guys. If I go through more, the stress is going to go up more, and you're also going to look at, you know, having a chance of someone dying. So we're gonna leave.
More bones return to rest. Devils remanded to their abyss.
Okay, so got some, you know, random perks. Turning a miss into a hit. That's amazing. Okay, so he's got a good and a bad. When light is high, he's lower damage, which is not good for us because we're going to be having high light most of the time. 15% damage in the warrens means if he's in the warrens, that's still a 5% buff. Everywhere else, though, we're looking at minus 10, so that might be one where when we're allowed to get rid of some of them, that might be one to look at. It's gonna be pretty annoying. And quick draw. Plus speed in the first round. That's fine. Okay, so we've unlocked the stress relief areas, the tavern and the abbey. We'll take a quick look at those, and then we're gonna end the episode. So both of them are for releasing stress. What we're gonna do is we've got Reynold. He's one.
Broken alike.
Now, if they're allowed to use any, you can just use whatever you want. Obviously, he's God-fearing, so he's going to have to pray. So, I mean, let's take Rowland. If we're going to use it, you put him in, then you hit confirm treatment. What that'll do is it'll take him away from your party for 1 week of the game, so one dungeon. But when he gets back, he'll have reduced stress. Abby is basically the same thing.
The cobwebs have been dusted, the pews set straight. The Abbey calls to the faithful.
The caretaker will randomly be in one spot, always. Might be drinking, might be here, whatever it is, he's always going to be in a spot, so he'll always take up a spot. That can be pretty annoying. We're definitely going to get Reynolds some treatment. He needs to pray. That's the only thing he can do, so we're going to spend the gold on that. That's a decent amount of gold, but, you know, for a character who's already level 1, he's got some good perks. We're going to definitely do that. And then before we're done, we'll check the stagecoach. We've got a lot. We're gonna take them all, and we'll look at them. We'll look at them later.
To
We've got
fight
room
the
for
abyss,
everybody.
one must know it.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks for watching. We'll be back again for another episode, and I will see you later.